Welcome back to another Charlotte Legacy League, where we have Bant Nadu versus Eldrazi Stompy. A huge thank you to the Patreon supporters who are helping the league and YouTube channel. If you would like to become a supporter, please click on the link in the show notes. If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. No, it's not a welcome back. Welcome to game one. And Connor's on the play here. Both players have kept 7. He's going to lead off on a It Heralds the End or something along those lines. Got a basic forest and a... Man, I should know these cards by now. That's a Delighted Halfling. And the Delighted Halfling, as we know, it's going to make shit uncounterable and it's going to make stuff difficult. Now, granted, Connor doesn't really care about counterable stuff in the most part, but now we've got a Fleshraker in play. Connor taking 2 more damage, and the combo is starting to come together for the Stompy deck, or the Stompy starting to come together for the Stompy deck. See if Byron's able to piece something together here. It looks like he has a basic plains in hand, so those wastelands are not going to do anything in particular. 3 mana, and do we have a Nadu? We do not. We have a Teferi bouncing that Fleshraker. Byron recognizing how important those Fleshrakers are to the Stompy deck, and then a pass back over to Connor. Probably see that Teferi leave the battlefield rather quickly in retreat of this It Heralds the End, but at the same time, Connor picks up that was a Gaia's Cradle, Fleshraker out again, Connor down to 14, and a pass back over. Check and see if that is also yet another Fleshraker, which it is. So now we know there's 2 of them on the battlefield. Alright, another Wasteland coming into play, and looks like there's a Green Sun Zenith in the hand as well for Byron. So he could Green Suns to pick up a Nadu, but he does need to be a little more careful keeping those Fleshrakers in check, especially if Connor's going to play another one next turn, and then really start moving with the Gaia's Cradle. Byron just taking a moment here to check out what he's got. He does have a fetch land and a brainstorm, so he can definitely put some things together in his hand. Looks like he chose to play the fetch land first, so he doesn't quite have the fetch and brainstorm as it sits. We're going to see Byron fetch, and we're going to see a Green Suns 4-3. Looks like it is indeed Nadu time, and it is. We'll see if Connor's able to capitalize on this being tapped out and 1 Fleshraker in play with another Fleshraker in hand and a Cradle. See if he can start chaining some things together to get a more powerful board state. For anyone who may hear that, my cat is saying hello, and I'm sure he'll be talking a little bit more here. Alright, Fleshraker in play. Got a trigger for 1, and now it begins. We have a token. Although there could be a Force of Will. Byron does have Force of Will with a Brainstorm, so we could see that go off. He let at least the trigger happen before he decided to Brainstorm. But alright, 2 Fleshrakers in play. 4 mana, 5 mana. And 1 green floating. What else do we have? It's a Thought Not Seer. Very easy to take the... Alright, let's see what he's going to do here. Alright, this is going to be where the Force of Will is used. Force of Will stopping that. It is an ETB trigger as opposed to on the stack trigger, but he will take 2 more damage from the Fleshrakers, and there's 1 mana floating. If he has another Thought Not Seer, he's going to be in pretty good shape. Byron does have the swords. Does he? And he has the Enabler. So he can at least activate 3 times next turn. Based on the creatures that are in play and that will be in play. But with that Nadu putting more cards in hand, we could see something come to light here. Not brought to light, but come to light. Alright, so double tap on the Delighted Halfling. There's some boots and a Ponder. Another 2 taps. We've got alright. So we're starting to move through. We got a Green Sun Zenith, a land, another... Nomads in core. Green Sun Zenith can go get Bristly Bill as well. and we could really start to see this game take off for Byron here. Not to mention that during Connor's next upkeep, he can go again to really try and get some things played. So he does have a Sword Splash here, so he can take care of one Fleshraker as it sits at the moment. And let's see how he wants to handle this. So we got a Green Suns, it looks like, for 3 again. Maybe just 2. Green Suns for 2. And a Bristly Bill is the play pattern there. We got another creature to go off another time, +1 for because of the land drop from the Bristly Bill, and another Green Sun Zenith. So he is really putting it together here. Swords of Plowshare, potentially on a Fleshraker coming soon. Another Nomad, so he gets at least to go another 2 taps. Force of Will into a Brainstorm, so he can set his hand up even more now with all of this. Wow, this deck is really you can just kind of go nuts here. So if we see any bans or restrictions coming in December, I could see this deck doing favorably well if it is able to skirt through that. Not sure what anybody else thinks, but it's like you put 2 cards away, see another fetch. Bristly Bill is going to tick up again on the Nadu. 2 more hits with the Dryad Arbor. Wow, okay. Just can kind of just go nuts here. And one more time, found another Swords. So he does have 2 Swords of Plowshares in hand, so he can take care of both Fleshrakers just by fetching. And he does have to be careful with his life total, but I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue if both Fleshrakers are no longer on the battlefield. See how he decides to play this. Looking at it, Green Suns, pulling it forward. Alright, another fetch here. Another white land. An attack for, what is that, 9? Putting Connor down to 4? Or maybe less. No. Putting him down to 12. Alright, wait. Here we go. Down to 3. And then up 3. Okay, yeah, alright. He hadn't taken the damage yet after the attack. I was like, man, how did he not take any damage? I thought that Ancient Tomb was killing him. He's going to pass. Let's see if Byron's going to take advantage of the upkeep. No, he's not going to activate during the upkeep. Over to Connor. Looks like he finds an eye. And what do we have? That's a... Oh, alright. Swords with the trigger on the stack. So he is still going to take 1 more damage that didn't need to be taken if you just would have Swords to Plowshare that creature on his turn, as opposed to letting Connor get another cast trigger off the Null Drifter. But it does pick up 3 more life. It goes to 9. He is going to have to find some flyers here, or some way to get through this. Alright. Yeah, there we go. So 1 without... Alright, is the Drifter in play, or is it just... Okay. It was all on the stack, so Connor just floated some mana there. Does have another Thought Knot Seer. Byron does have a Force of Will and I believe another blue card in hand. I think you just kind of let that resolve. I mean, he doesn't have a flyer to take care of the creature. It's not like he can Time Walk or anything like that. So, Thought Knot doesn't really do too much. Alright, now we're going to see some triggers going off and just flipping some cards over. Finds another Force of Will, another blue card. Wow, he just ripped the complete nuts here. And he gets a Travail trigger as well. +1/+1 on the Nomad. Oh, that's right. The Herald can also like cause some trouble here. because all of those spawns, those 3 spawns that are, let's see, it's only 3 damage. So there's 3 blockers. So we'll see a force fishing the brainstorm, or the brainstorm fishing the force, same thing. 2 more life from Connor. Let's see what else he has. I got another Herald. I thought not Seer is definitely in the graveyard. And alright, still 3 blockers. I don't think it really matters though. He's at 7. And the Nadu's a 9/9. They don't have trample, so it's not really that big of a deal. So it's 6 damage coming across. Enough blockers to take care of everything. So he takes 2 here. Double block, and block. So he takes 2. And Connor packs it up. We'll see you in game number 2. If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Welcome back to game number 2. Connor's on 5, Byron is on 7. Connor on the play as he got to feel the true weight and power of Nadu last game. See if he can able to rally back after that. I feel like after seeing the game that we just saw, the Eldrazi deck may be at a disadvantage against this Nadu deck. Well, that's a little rough. I may have spoke too soon. Chalice on 1 does turn off a lot of cards in Byron's hand. But Byron does have the basics in the deck, so it allows him to play around those wastelands that Eldrazi does try to leverage against all of the greedy decks so far in this format. Lots of 1-drops in Byron's hand. Looks like he has 4 or 5 1-drops in his hand. Patches all the basics, and 2 mana finds a prismatic ending, and now all of a sudden it seems like the grasp that Connor had is slipped away. So back over to Connor, we're going to see a Kozilek's command. Scry to put 2 boogers in the yard or in play, and then he'll get to draw a card. If he likes the 2 cards on top, he'll leave them there. If not, to the bottom they go, and he'll draw fresh. And then he gets to draw on his turn as well, and he's ramped 2 additional mana. So not a fireball on that one, but it does put him up to 6 total mana in play. Ancient Tomb, 8 total mana, and it looks like he's an Eye of Ugin in his hand as well. Let's see if a Nadu is coming out to play here. There is a Green Sun Zenith, so we can at least see that for 3 and see a Nadu come into play. Byron looks like he has 2 plows and a Path to Exile. Maybe even 3 plows there. So we have a Nadu in play. It is 3 Swords of Plowshares and 1 Path to Exile. So I don't think he is fearing any creatures at the moment. He could... Well, he has a Green Sun Zenith, but I don't think that actually gets any enablers other than the Sylvan Safekeeper that would be in the deck. We'll see what he Green Suns for. For 2, it is the Graveyard Champion. I don't remember the name of it. Let me check. I found him as the cute little raccoon over on the left-hand side of your screen. And yeah, so that's going to be able to start tearing away at graveyards as well as getting thick. So the Trash Panda has arrived and is stealing people's trash. Alright, back over to Connor. He is going to do something here, I suppose. Hopefully he can find a way out of this. 2 damage, and looks like we have a Kozilek's command. No, this is the Devourer of Destiny, I believe. It is the Devourer, as Byron takes a peek at it as well. And when you cast a spell, it exiles target permanent that has 1 or more colors. Connor does a great favor, pulls it up so he can actually read what the card does, because the official Magic card is not actually in play, but the photocopier version is. So, Trash Panda eats a little bit more, and we've got a 6/6 in play. Nothing that multiple Swords of Plowshares and a Path to Exile can't handle on their own. And it looks like we're going to see a Path to Exile here, as Byron wants to keep that life total low, and Connor already has a bunch of mana anyway. He has maybe a waste. Oh, he does play Forest as well. So Forest in play. The Trash Panda is snacking again on a sorcery. Actually, on a sorcery, yeah. So it's got instant land and sorcery at the moment. No creature to chew up yet, but it needs 4 or more card types among the cards exiled with Keen-Eyed Curator. But I think Kozilek's thingy, I'll just look that up right quick while we're watching. So what's this K command? Alright, Kozilek's command. Let's get the old double tap here. It is a Kindred instant, Eldrazi. I don't know if that counts as 2 or not. Maybe someone can look at that and see. So does Keen-Eyed Curator see Kozilek's command as 2 different things, kind of like it would see Urza Saga as an enchantment and the land? If someone's made it this far in the video, after my appalling Game 1 commentary, I'd appreciate it if you let me know in the comments if it does count for that. It also looks like... Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you next time. If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below.